Hello everybody and welcome back to another Magic the Gathering Arena video. First things first, you will notice that I am now a floating person rather than sat in my office. That is thanks to the addition of a green screen in my recording setup. One of the small improvements that I'm going to try and make to my production quality along the way. My lighting still isn't perfect, but we're getting there. We're improving some bits and pieces. Anyway, on with the deck. Today we are looking at my team. So this is, I would say, probably the colour combination that I like most in Magic the Gathering, hence why I've called it this, and that is JUND. Now I've made quite a few JUND decks in Alchemy since the format came out, and obviously we are now being given Crucias to add to the mix, so I have done so. If you're playing these colours, you cannot not play this card. I would love to not play it, but you have to play it. And I'm falling back on my old favourite combination of Kalain-Halana-Alena. So this combination basically is one of the sweetest combinations of cards that has ever existed in Magic the Gathering, and that is because Kalain, when it enters the battlefield, create a treasure token, i.e. on turn 3 we will have 4 mana available, and other creatures you control enter the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counter on them for each mana from a treasure spent to cast them. So if we then play Halana-Alena on turn 3, it will come in as a 3/4, and it will put 3 counters on Kalain, making Kalain a 4/5. So on turn 3 we have a 4/5 and a 3/4. The 4/5 is able to attack, and the 3/4 is going to put 3 counters on any other creature we have until it is removed. That is such a powerful sort of 2-card combination that I just find building around it can never really make a bad deck. Chuck Crucias in the middle to help us tutor up our Halana-Alenas or Sheoldreds, and we've got something going here. So the other build arounds that we have, I'm running 3 Phyrexian Fleshgorgers as the 3/3 Menace lifelink with Ward 3 life, because if you make this thing's power artificially bigger, i.e. sticking a load of counters on it with Halana-Alena or paying treasure from Kalain, then Phyrexian Fleshgorger is going to be more nasty. If this is a 4/4 or a 5/5 Menace lifelink with Ward 4 life or Ward 5 life, that's even better. And obviously if you do ever play it for the 7, it could be like a Ward 10 life and they can't get rid of it. So this thing seems to fit very well in this deck. Also, having lifelink against a mono red heavy meta is always a nice thing. Just to touch on Crucias, because we've gone through this card quite a lot, it does create treasure tokens every single turn, which if we use with Kalain will bring our creatures in bigger. So there is some synergy between these two humans. We're then running 2 Sheoldreds. Sheoldred is a nice, in general, it's a good card, but also if you make this 4/5 body bigger, it's very good. But the reason we're playing Sheoldred really is that it pairs well with one of the other alchemy cards we're using, which is Ravenous Pursuit. So at first when this came out I said it wasn't great, but actually in the right shell it's pretty great. And this is the right shell. There aren't very many correct shells for this. So this card is 1 and a green sorcery. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. Classic bite effect. And choose a creature card in your hand. It perpetually gets +X/+X, where X is the amount of excess damage dealt this way. So if we use Ravenous Pursuit when we have Sheoldred out, Sheoldred is a 4/5 death touch, potentially even bigger given all of our buffs to creatures. A creature that has death touch only ever needs 1 damage to kill something. So we will always have at least 3 excess damage if we have Ravenous Pursuit used on a Sheoldred. That's also the reason we're playing Shadowheart, because it is a death touch creature. Bite effects with death touch creatures are basically just destroy any creature, and it's going to give a buff to a creature in our hand. Now if we get to choose what creature that is. Often we will choose Halana-Alena. Obviously having the buff applied to Halana-Alena means when we play it, that buff then goes through to another creature as counters anyway. So I think you have to have Halana-Alena pretty much, or something that depends on having high power or toughness in your deck for this to be worth it, preferably high power. And that is also why we're running 4 copies of Shakedown Heavy, because it's going to give us more excess damage when we remove stuff using it. Obviously it's a big powerful card anyway, but yeah, we're running things that have death touch particularly or high power because they pair well with Ravenous Pursuit. We're running 2 Yawgmoth Praetors to draw some cards. Obviously pairs well with Fleshgorger, which has lifelink, so we can gain the life first, then pay it to draw more cards. It pairs well with Sheoldred, because when we draw cards we gain life anyway. And we can give our Shadowheart lifelink if we specialise it black, and then once that's got lifelink it pairs well with this as well. So this pairs with quite a few of our cards nicely, and also we need a way of keeping our hand refueled. Just to touch then on Shadowheart. Shadowheart is a 2/2 Death Touch. At the beginning of your end step, it deals 1 damage to each player, so it's quite an aggressive card. And we have 3 ways we can specialise Shadowheart. We have black, which makes it a 4/4 Death Touch lifelink. You can only specialise it if either player has 13 or less life, which is quite common in games of this deck, because a lot of games either we or the opponent is going to be struggling. If you specialise it with lifelink, it means when it does damage to you, it doesn't really, because you gain the life back, and obviously you gain life for the damage it's doing to the opponent, so it's very nice. If you specialise it with red, whenever you lose life during your turn, Shadowheart deals that much damage to each opponent. Now, obviously it itself will do 1 damage to you every turn, so 2 damage to your opponent, but also we have other ways of damaging ourselves in this deck, and that is by using Gix, the Yawgmoth Praetor's ability. So whenever we deal combat damage, we can do we'll lose 1 life ourselves, which is 1 damage, which will then be done to the opponent. So we can damage ourselves too with this. If we want to specialise this on red or on green, it puts counters on itself whenever we lose life. So there are quite a few ways of it being useful, fun little interactions in the deck. The rest of the deck is essentially a removal package, so we have 3 cut down, 2 go for the throat, and 2 lonely ends. The reason running lonely ends is it's so good against mono red. The reason you lose against mono red is because you're on the draw. Being able to give something -3/-3 and gain 2 life is pretty much a death knell to mono red. Cut down great against mono red but other creature decks, and this is for dealing with any bigger stuff. Obviously we're running 4 Ravenous Pursuits as well, so in total we have 5, 7, 11 removal spells, but this one is slightly situational and is also a buff for our creatures. We're running 26 lands in this deck. Oh, click the wrong button. Thank you, game. Which I feel is about the right amount, because we always want to be able to get to this 4 mana. We want to hit the 3 mana on curve in case we have the Kalain-Halana-Alena combo in our hand. But similarly, we don't want to flood out with this deck, because we only have really Gix as our form of drawing. We have got Crucias to fix our hand, which can be nice when we flood with a bit. So I think 26 feels about right, but obviously it is slightly anecdotal. Anyway, that is the deck. It's my Kalain-Halana-Alena combo. We're happening again. We're throwing Crucias into the mix, throwing Lonely End into the mix. Let's see how we get on in some games. Okay, here we go. In next X. Let's see if we can get to Diamond today. This is good, I think. It's no Kalain into Halana-Alena, but I will accept it. Mono red, riding through land. Mono red, what? Nest robber. I'm not sure about that. As a life choice. Can even block it with Kalain, look. Okay. Straight into the life linking. Try and show this nest robber what's up. Festival Crasher. What is going on here? This is a madness deck. Well, not literally madness, but... So let's kill this one. Because it grows. Then we'll attack, and then we'll go for the throat if they double block. And if they don't, we'll play out Gix, which is the risky move, because if they've got a traumatic prank, they get to draw 3 cards. But you know what? With the Fleshgorger, we'll probably still be okay. Maybe. Lightning strike on the Fleshgorger. Yeah, that makes sense. Still no way they can attack through that then. That's pretty sweet. So we'll put this on red just because we've only got 1 red source, and we'll scry. cut down. Yeah, that works. So this gets -3, -3. We're up to 23 against mono red. And then I can draw a card. So we've got that cut down now. Good that they play a land out. Yeah, no chance there. Fleshgorger versus mono red strikes again. GG. Alright. Don Guri. This looks passable. Got our colours at least. Cool land, which I won these lands in the behind my head. In the decathlon was one of the rewards. I think I only got 1 win or 2 wins. I can't remember, but got some lands for my trouble. Some cool lands. I didn't record it because I had to play it on my mobile phone at the time. That's away. But yeah, it was fun anyway. They did a sealed event where everyone opened the same cards, and I did what everyone else did in net decks, and I literally only played against the same deck. Like someone had posted a deck on Twitter that everyone used this. Oops, I was trying to play this. Probably need to get rid of the whelp. I know that that escalates otherwise. And we can attack. It's not my Dragons deck, that's for sure. I don't play this whelp, as I don't think it's very good. It's alright, but there's so many good cards for a Dragons deck. They are playing at least 4 colours though. Maybe taking inspiration from mine? Who knows? Definitely not my deck. I wouldn't be killing that if I was there. That's frustrating, but Fleshgorger it is. And these are a bit slow normally, but then we've been incredibly slow, so 3/3 hexproof double strike is quite nice. Can double block obviously, but that wouldn't be the end of the world. Yeah, that is a pain. Yeah, okay. So do we attack with this 9/9? And kill off the Wrathful Red Dragon maybe. Before it gets too painful for us. If we do that, they'll block with these two. We'll do 9 damage, which they can reflect whenever it drags onto 2 targets in a 7 and a 3, or a 7 and a 3. So they'll kill 1, 2, 3 creatures, or 1, 2, 3. I think it's still worth it to get rid of the Wrathful Red Dragon, to be honest. Okay, they didn't even block with that. So they're not even killing the Fleshgorger. Oh yes they are, because it's got double strike, of course. Kalain and one other, yeah. Interesting. Yeah, this is why I wanted to try and get through before all this happened. Couldn't even target the Mirim if we wanted to, so we can't attack. It's like, because our deck is all about high damage, I'm being absolutely smashed by Wrath or Red Dragon. We can't win now. We'd have to draw, we'd have to top deck like 10 removals in a row. I don't think we're even playing any. GG. Next game. Don't want to face dragons, please. I've realised that is our weakness. I mean, we have a chance because we run 2 Go for the Throats. When I said no removal, it isn't no removal we have, but it's just not a good chance because we need to draw those 2 specific pieces of removal. This is all a bit slow, isn't it? But I actually think that's still not a bad pull against a red land. Yeah. What is it with this deck people playing? It's very strange. Looks like we're playing Gruul when we aren't. Melt through in a mountain. Yeah, we're going to get our face melted. I don't want my face melted when I've got this beautiful frame going on. Okay. Crucias it is. And I think we'll ditch this one and say lesser, because a land is fine, but it might have given us more removal, which would be good in this matchup. Yeah, we didn't expect Crucias to live for long, in fairness. Good game. They got one more fucking shock. How have they got so many shocks? Look at this. Unbelievable. If we weren't on the draw, that would be such an easy matchup. Or if we do any of our removal, any cut down, or any lonely end, or whatever it's called. Ugh. That just feels bad when that works for them. Okay, 2CB. The next challenger. Still no 2-drops on the draw. I'm going to learn my lesson and mulligan. Okay, we have a 2-drop this time. So maybe we can just... I've been using these sleeves without even really thinking about it, but they look a bit more fitting for JUND, to be honest. Yeah, let's get Kalain. Or get Kalain countered. Suddenly crossed my mind, that might be what's happening here. Fleshgorger, eh? Ooh. We've got our Kalain-Halana-Alena. That is nice. Look at this for a banger. A 3-4 and a 4-5 on turn 3. Mate. That is rough. Even if they deal with one or the other, we've still got 2 creatures. This is what I like about this, is that you end up with 2 creatures alive, even if they get rid of one. The bigger one or the one that makes it bigger. That's just pain. That is just pure pain. Even when they're on the draw. Now obviously they could have 2 removal spells, they could have 0 removal spells like this. Now again, that is a nice combo too. We have that in our deck, but we can now remove stuff. So, let's do like this. Buff this one, only by 1. We leave them with the one that does them damage. I mean, we can get rid of it if we want to, but I don't think they're going to be keen on taking loads of extra damage when you've got cards. They're going to want that as a blocker. Let's let them think they can have it as a blocker until the end of their turn. Seeking some new knowledge, yeah. Oh yeah, that's a damage, that's a pain land as well they've got there. The pressure off this deck if it works well, it works well, man. And it just, there's nothing you can do about that. Alright, next one. I had to Missed one of the games out of the video because my doorbell went, unfortunately, and I had to go and get it, which kind of ruined the essence of the game. But we did lose one. It's got this better bug back against mono black. Just kept removing my creatures. Come on, shut up. My volume a little bit. Black. Nope. Got one of those. What we need is an untapped red or black, really. Then we got our ideal start. Bushwhack. Interesting. So they are running the same colours that we are. That's pretty good. Got our cut down ready in case there's a similar strategy going on, but I doubt it. Not many people are running Kalain these days. Come on. What can we send them? Maybe one of these. Plundered. Okay, then I think we'll ditch the cut down. Should we throw away the heavy? Why not? Crucias. Throw away Gix, I think. And go Praetor. Fleshgorger's nice. Good pairing with Kalain-Halana-Alena. Extra treasure for us. Okay, Jarsil gives Bushwhack. I wonder if they will fight. No, they'll search. So this is the JUND of the animator deck, which I'm quite familiar with. Thankfully we do removal rather than have to burn a couple more cards. Yeah, we'll go Fleshgorger and lesser. Can't go greater with Fleshgorger because it's 7 costing, even though it feels like it's 3 costing. Now the Jarsil's gone, we might have a better chance. I wonder how their deck performs if you don't draw Jarsil. I mean, obviously it gives you massive value when you've got it. Just wonder. So they can get it back. Interesting that the thing goes back to 1. Because you're conjuring a duplicate. Bushwhack to kill my Crucias. What a bugger, eh? So yeah, we'll use both treasures, I think, on this. They're probably just going to let that through. Knowing that they can make us discard 2 next turn with the Undercity Plunder. So we'll be losing our Lonely End and they'll be getting a card. Just if they have more removal, isn't it? That's the question of the game now. If they have more removal, they'll win, because they'll be able to double cast it. So if they had, for example, a go for the throat now, it'll be game over, because they'd cast it, recast it with Jarsil, win. Just that I don't know if they are running that or not. Crucias, maybe trying to tutor up some removal. Yeah, unfortunately our Lonely End is gone. Bye bye, Lonely End. So I'm guessing they haven't got removal, or they would have played it pre-combat. which means they're going to have to block with at least one of those creatures. Guess they could block with Crucias and cast it for free next turn. Or they could throw away something that costs 3 with Crucias to bring back. Either way, they're in a pretty nice position, I would say. They'll probably try digging for removal by throwing away something that costs 3. Yeah, a Fable. And then going for less and trying to find... No, they actually went for more. Okay. I was wrong. So they have to block Kalain. No, they're just giving up. Okay. Suits me. I thought we were on the verge of losing. They clearly don't quite have enough removal in that deck. It's quite a fun looking deck though. Little fun JUND deck, but oof, close one. Okay, next game. Notorious. Conor McGregor, maybe? No. Would probably be even more famous than Post Malone if Conor McGregor was into Magic the Gathering, I imagine. That would be a funny one. Blue white with a bank buster. Great. Guess we'll just do this and hold open Lonely End. Not that it's going to be particularly useful to us. I mean, they might play a creature, but I wonder where this is going. I don't like blue white against... I mean, those two colours alone tend to beat our 3 colours. So we can give this -3 at least. And gain 2 life. So it's only 2 damage really, it's not the end of the world. I think we'll go with the heavy against control. So we might need the Fleshgorger later. So we'll try attacking. This could be a Wandering Emperor or God knows what, but we can't sit and fear forever. It is. Fine.
I'm not overconfident. You're just underwhelmed.
Had to make them use it. Otherwise they could just draw with Bankbuster. Then Sheoldred it is. And then we see what happens. It's a very interesting. Got it straight out cut down range, which is unfortunate. So we'll play like this, I think. Might as well grow the Shelly. Thing is, if we attack like this, they could block and then exile Sheoldred, but then it's trading that creature plus their Wandering Emperor for our Sheoldred, which I think is worth it. Because we should be able to then get in and kill Teferi next turn. Assuming that they're going to 0 Teferi. Yeah, suspected that would come. Say la vie. We've got more Shellys we can find in our deck, hopefully. Okay, minusing it. That is interesting. So we can't kill that whilst Bankbuster is attacked, but if they try and tap Bankbuster, we can kill the 2/2.
I am owed victory.
Maybe they'll try and do it now. That's good. Otherwise they can grow their creature in response and fizzle our cut down. Now we can kill Teferi and Tezzeret. Unless they'd have turned that one into a... They could minus Tezzeret to save him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sadly we're only at 6, so we might as well play this one. As a tapped land, scry. Do we want Shadowheart? Neither creature's going to be low enough to specialise it, so probably not. So they can tap this Bankbuster for free, annoyingly. So which do we want to kill? Tezzeret, I guess it's just free cards for them at the moment. Just make them pay mana for all those Bankbusters. Yeah, we know that's happening.
Back off.
Okay, Tezzeret down.
For failure.
Thankfully neither of these is at the point of creating creatures yet. So Teferi should be open to us. It's nice to see them creating creatures, that means they're not farewelling creatures. Hopefully not board wiping of any kind. As a Lord Protector. Curious. God, more junk for us. So this will be a 7/7. Now they could crew one Bankbuster, that doesn't help them. I guess they could crew the Bankbuster with the Spirit and double block, and then we can only kill one or the other. Because it'll be 8 defense. Toughness even. Defense? Don't know why I called it that. No. Letting Teferi go. That's probably good for us.
We'll have to try again.
I mean, they've got all the card advantage in the world anyway, but we can't have them keep spitting these out. So they're going to create a pilot with this now. Why does Halana-Alena, why does the sword bend at the end? Is that where they've done the graphic for this 3D version? They've broken it, because look, if you have it at this, there was a side where it looks fine in the small version, but when you blow it up, the sword bends off the edge. That can't be right. Or it's some kind of weird hooked sword. So I should be watching what's going on. They created a pilot. Whatever's going on, it's going on slowly. So they can draw another one and make this a 6. This will be a 9/9. 6. They could kill it if we attack next turn. I don't know about you, but when I'm playing this game, I find that if the rope's going across the middle, I speed up my play. I swear some people, they slow down their play, but the rope doesn't phase them. It really phases me. Fine. I'd rather they have to play it now and kill the Kalain-Halana-Alena than they kill this. Fucking hell. What is this? 3, 6, 9 lands in the top 15. Can't even attack. If we attack, they'll just buff this, block with the 2 of them, or block, yeah, and then exile it with this, or whatever they want to do. Why didn't they tap the other Bankbuster anyway? I don't really want to lose to this, but I think we're going to lose to this. Are they even playing any Alchemy cards? Ah, there's one. Otherwise, so far, this has been a standard deck, and we're losing to it. But it is because of the land flooding situation that we've got going on here. It is non-ideal. Yeah,
Remember your
that
training.
thing's going to connect. This is nearly a scoop, but the thing is, the odds of us drawing more land is so low. We just need some removal though. So what have we got in our deck that can remove it? 2 go for the throats. Ravenous Pursuit won't even do it anymore. Yeah, there's not a lot going on that we could deal with this massive creature. We can double block it. But this opponent knows my weakness, which is slow play. Okay, anyone who slow plays me long enough, I just end up scooping, even if it's winnable. This is winnable, it's just not very likely. Alright, alright. Psyduck, like the Pokemon, but with an A. This is fine. We'll draw creatures. That's what our deck's got. Lots of creatures. There we go. Kalain, you're up. Give me a 4/4 lifelink. 4/4 is not quite big enough because of Molten Impact, but we'll go with it. So we can play this because it's going to use the treasure in it. Then we've got cut down if we need it. If they have to remove that sorcery speed, that's almost good for us. Okay, yeah, interesting. That is one way of getting rid of it. I guess we'll just do like this and then we can get rid of the Freezing Ground. Cycle it, I mean. Goblin Influx Array, curious. It's quite nice to get that down so early. We're not going to flood again, are we? Do we need to get rid of some lands in this deck? 5, 6. So we're running 25. That doesn't seem like too many to me, but maybe it is. Fine. Don't really care about Kalain that much. Bound to happen, isn't it? Looks like we had one in our hand all along. Really, all we've got is removal. Well, this one's not even great right now. Little Blast. What are they doing? Why do you care about Kalain that much? Get rid of that. We can't give that haste, so we'll leave that alone for now. There we go. A nice little Crucias. If we start throwing things like this away and getting greater, we'll get creatures. Come on. Come on, dude. Goblins have haste. Fine. Morale Sergeant. Goblins cost 1 less. Oh my goodness. This is painful. Gotta kill the squee, I think. Because that is so much damage to us. This is 9 damage as it stands. Now we could block one because we've got another Crucias, which they can't appreciate, I suppose. Where's all my non-lands? This is berserk what's happening here. So we've thrown away 1 land only, but that's 8 in total. Great. Where was this? This is what I needed all along. We're dead. Painful. Next game. Non-code. We played against this player before. It's familiar to me. Okay, we haven't got any green, any red mana, but we've got some stuff to do. Famous last words. Okay, that changes my decision drastically. No, you're not attacking with that. Sorry. Yeah. Can't kill something this turn, but well worth it. I would like red mana though. We've got 8, there's 16 sources of red in the deck. There's one of them, good. So we could just hold the go for the throat. We're not going to go for the throat a chick until it's more threatening than just a chick. A Raiju, for example. Don't really care about that. So we'll put a Kalain in and hold, go for the throat again. Yeah, they're not even killing the Kalain, didn't think so. Because they don't care about Kalain, and I don't blame them. Just waiting for that Ambergris or Raiju to come down. Fine. At this point we can use the go for the throat because we've got more removal. So we can Kalain and Halana-Alena now. Got a big Halana-Alena. Big Kalain. Alright, opponent's out of cards. It's a shame, but look, this is a pretty good position to be in. Is that my dog snoring? Or was that? I think it was. I think Fleshgorger, just for the lifelink, it gets red. It'd be silly not to play it, even though it's tempting to go heavy. GG. Cool. We beat red, which is what we're supposed to do. Okay. Let's do one more. Game number 9, I think. This looks okay. No untapped lands, but we've got some cheap stuff, so it doesn't matter too much. There is an untapped land, thank you game. Turn 3 Sheoldred on the play, I will take that any day. No it isn't. Because we didn't get any more land, but we could take a Gix. We could draw us a card, that's nice. 4/4 Gix. Don't know why I blindly assumed I'd be drawing land there. Let's put the Sheoldred in first, so that if we draw with Gix alive, we gain life, I will lose it. One of these might be getting killed. Yeah. We'll find another one with these cards. Certainly found another Kalain, which is not exactly what we needed, but the dog getting to bed. Right, Swarm Saboteur. So we don't have any removal, but it doesn't matter really. We've got another Gix in our hand, so we'll draw with one or the other. Yeah, cool. And then I think we'll play a heavy and a Sharran. Probably block with the heavy because they can stop us. No, fine. We'll block with the heavy. We'll sack it. We'll block with the Shadowheart. Or do we even care if they? No, they won't even attack. Yeah. Alright. This can go black, I suppose. Cut down. Yes, please. So... let's specialise this as black. Or do we specialise it red with Kalain, maybe? Because red is whenever we lose life during our turn. Let's go with that for a bit of funsies. Now they have to block one of them. Cool, so our gig survives. And then I think we'll play the Fleshgorger. Starting to put some real pressure on this player. That constant, like, card draw of gigs is so powerful, isn't it? Invoke Despair. Shame. It's a shame. Well, GG. Thank you for playing. Thank you for games. That was a nice one. Okay, so a quick look at the stats of this deck for those who are into that type of thing. So it may surprise you to see that actually this deck has had a 68% win rate on the ladder. So all these games are post-ladder reset from the 1st and the 2nd of the month. In other words, we're basically playing against mythic players. And yeah, I think in the video I probably went just above 50%. I haven't actually checked the stats of the games that I played. I think I played 9 games, 5 wins, 4 losses maybe. But overall it has performed slightly better than that. At a 68% win. That is because I think we had some really relatively tough matches. As you can see from the colour chart here, black is quite tough for us because we're big creature related. When there's lots of removal followed up by Invoke Despairs, it's just so hard. You need to build a presence for this deck to play well, and I think black is a tough matchup. We can get under them and kill them turn 4-5, but everything has to go right for that to happen. So if anything goes wrong, I think black is a hard matchup. Red is obviously a good matchup, otherwise we wouldn't be playing the deck. As always, look, 11 against red, the next highest is 5 against black, and then 2 against nothing. So yeah, I mean, red, if you can beat red, you'll do fine, kind of thing. Yeah, I think this is a fun deck. I don't know if it is the best deck. The nice thing is it's fast games. It's fun to play because you're drawing a lot. You're building big creatures, and I find those things fun. And also, it's got plenty of removal. I think having these 11 removal cards, is really nice in this meta. It's quite a creature focused. If you find lots of Crucias around, you'll do fine. Red decks, you'll do fine. Even Clockmakers, which we didn't run into, but we've got the power to deal with those. So yeah, I think this is a pretty fun deck. Whether it's the best deck for climbing, maybe not, but it's a good deck for climbing. I don't think anyone can dispute over 34 games having a 68% win rate in best of 1. That's pretty good to me. So, you know, I've enjoyed it. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it too. You know, if you want to do some climbing Alchemy ladder, give this one a go. Most of the cards aren't new. Obviously, we've thrown Crucias into sort of an existing mix, and it's going to come out pretty well. So, you know, have some fun with it. Anyway, thank you very, very much for watching the video. If you did like it, please do like the video. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. And otherwise, I will see you next time. Bye for now.